Well, welcome to another episode about chatting about Fairmont. I'm
And
Mom.
I'm Brandon.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for joining us as always.
Yes, and we're here to talk about Beyond the Gate. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Mom, I'm doing well. How about you doing?
I'm doing fine, Brandon. And just so everyone knows, today is November the 8th, and we are 2025, and we are going to talk about Haley.
Yes, well, Mom, I'm excited to get into it.
Yes. And we're just going to talk about Haley as a character because within the last 3 to 4 weeks, we have noticed a change in Haley. And I will have to give kudos to the writers for actually thinking this through, or at least I guess they thought this through previously. But anyway, thinking this through and giving Haley a point. When Haley was first introduced to us, she just seemed to be the new wife of Bill. And be quite honest, she was a very boring character, even though that she and Danny got into it on a regular basis. There was not much of a point for her except for being just the new wife to Bill. Well, now we have a point to Haley. Haley apparently has a little past. She has been working with Randy, and Randy, who is actually works for Joey, but she and Randy are cousins, and they have a little history in regards to actually setting up men and for Haley, and then kind of taking their money. And so, and we have seen a change with Haley ever since they have introduced this idea to us. Brandon, what have been your initial thoughts to the storyline? We're going to go into a little more depth, but what has been your initial thoughts to the storyline?
With them showing the truth, so to speak, of Haley.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's really innovative, and I like that it's different. But not only that, it's not like we go from it where she is, the like I said, the jealous, naive wife to a schemer, but yet you can still they still show the facade. It's not like hey they found out at the same time. It's that this has always been the case, but we're just now sort of in on it. So I kind of like that we're still showing this, but now her clumsy actions, I guess, have some sort of context to it. And so it's kind of fun being able to see what she does as bad at it. She seems to be very not clumsy or naive's not even the right word, just sloppy.
Yes, she is very sloppy in how she's working right now. But I will say that they gave her a backstory, and I thought that that was really needed for this particular character because we really didn't know much about Haley except for being Naomi's friend or ex-friend. That part we knew, but other than that, we didn't know much about Haley itself. And so to see them actually give her a backstory, and not only give her a backstory, but they did it in flashbacks also, which was nice, and to see the relationship that she had with Randy. We saw that when Haley faked the pregnancy initially, was she claimed to be pregnant, and so she faked the pregnancy. How she spoke to Randy, and she called him Sammy, and so as a viewer, of course, you look down and said, "Why is she doing that?" But then I just thought she kind of paid him off to kind of do this for her. But to see that there was thought behind this, it was very nice to see. So, of course, just to kind of bring everything together, we know that she is after Bill's money and she is stooping low. She now wants to poison Bill, or she is in the process of poisoning Bill, and she's doing this slowly. Randy has provided this to her, provided the poison to her, and he's kind of told her how to use it. And she is just putting it in his coffee and his tea. But what I find interesting, kind of like you said, is the sloppiness of it. She is now, she has the poison on her. She doesn't really differentiate between the drinks. So, I mean, anyone could drink whatever it is that she's giving to them. And they're just she's just putting it in his coffee. She is looking after, she wants to see what the life insurance policy is, and so she just goes on his computer and just starts looking things up, but she does it in the law office instead of doing it at home. And so the witness to everything seems to be Caroline. And what's interesting to see her is the change that she's had with Caroline also. Caroline was her only quote unquote friend in the show. And now she's just talking about Caroline. And that has made me laugh as she's done that. But I think that Caroline's going to be the one to actually figure her out. Um, and so we've also learned that she's been a widow before, which is interesting. And and then she's also convinced Bill to buy her a vacation home. And then with the pregnancy that she had, or fake pregnancy that she had, it kind of worked out for her because Bill opened up a bank account and deposited money in the account for her. And then she says that there's also more money that's been put aside for her. So it's just been interesting and fun to watch Haley, to see how she's changed, and to give kudos to the show for actually thinking this through. Even if they did it a little later, they thought it through to actually show that Haley itself had a point. We actually had a discussion a little while ago, you and I did. And I don't know if it's aired yet, but we had a discussion about some things that were just kind of hanging. And we talked about Haley being a subject that was just kind of hanging out there. And so, like I say, it's nice to see there's closure to that. All right, Brandon, do you have any other thoughts before we begin to close this out?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, most of the things that we hit of the stalemated, if you will, plot lines, I'm pretty sure all of them have been hit by this point.
Yeah, they are. Most of them have been hit, and so I am pleasantly surprised that someone actually has like some sort of tick sheet back there and kind of looking, saying, "Oh, well, we haven't finished this storyline. It's kind of hanging. This storyline's hanging. This storyline's hanging. So now let's just kind of start wrapping some of these up." Or at least at this point in time, they're beginning to introduce some new characters to kind of help with a little bit of the stalemate that we noticed that was happening for a little bit. So I'm glad to see that the producers or writers or whoever from Beyond the Gates is actually looking ahead at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, that being said, going back a little bit to what you're saying about Haley, I'm curious as to how long this is going to last. And in my mind, is that let's say she succeeds on the plan, which I doubt that they'd be getting rid of Bill anytime soon. But um, I think if she were to succeed with the plan, from the way at least I'm interpreting it, is that not only does she want that vacation house and his life insurance policy, but she's perfectly fine with continuing to be, not just whoever she really is, but actually being a Haley Hamilton.
Yeah, she seems to be very content with that. I don't think they're going to let her succeed with Bill.
Well, yeah,
I think, yeah, like Bill has another purpose in the show. Haley, beyond this, I don't think really does. So I don't know if they'll continue with Haley or they'll let Bill find a new woman. Who knows? I don't think that they'll let him go back to Danny because Danny seems to be happy with Andre at this point. But besides that, I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out and to see if Caroline will be the one to catch her.
maybe Bill will be with Caroline next.
Oh, that's and maybe he will. He seems to like people he works with, so maybe he will. But oh, sorry, Brandon, did you want to add anything?
I don't see Haley per se going away. Like, I mean, for an extensive time at this point, but I could easily see her becoming a villain to the side person, similar to a Leslie. In fact, they made a post the YouTube channel for Beyond the Gates, which they now have one. Outside just the CBS page, they teased one or two times about a potential team up of Haley and Leslie, and I think that would be intriguing. Going after the both of them. But I like that Nicole had made some comment about that. It's like, well, even Haley has her standards.
Yes. Yes, she did make a comment about that. That was funny. Yes. So I hope the rest of y'all are looking forward to the storyline. I sure am. And please let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about Haley at this time. All right. So we thank, and this is a short word, everyone. So we thank everybody for watching.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.